We'll start here. So welcome everybody to tonight's webinar. I am so excited about today. I can hardly contain myself. I'm so excited that I literally was going to stay down in San Diego today and couldn't wait to get back home. So I had my full desk and everything rocking and rolling ready for tonight. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Casey Eberhart, and I want to welcome every single person here. You are here for a reason, and that's because you are connected to us somehow. That may be our Facebook community that we is a Facebook group called Expand the Business, which if you're not part of Expand the Business Facebook group, we'd love to have you be. It's a free group for you to join. By you being here, it shows that you have a love of business. And that's really what we are inside that group. So it's like a business brain trust. There's no spam. It's pure value. It's free. You can join that at joinetb.com, which stands for Expand the Business. Very clever, right? And we'd love to have you be a part of that. You may also be part of our meetup portfolio. I run and manage a portfolio of about 50 different meetup groups. We have about 70,000 people across all of those meetup groups. And you've probably been harassed by us to be a part of this webinar if you are part of any of those meetup groups. We have them out in Colorado, Los Angeles, and up in the Tacoma, Seattle area as well. So we're super excited to have you guys here for that as well. You know, at the end of the day, we find that people don't really know how to sell whatever it is they in fact sell. Let's just cut right down to the bottom brass tacks of this thing, right? And so my partner Bijal came to me and said, "Hey, look, you don't understand. We have got to do something with Bill and Don because they have created a framework that anybody can use, whether you're just starting out in business or you're super advanced doing $100 million in revenue. You can take this framework and this script, if you will, and run it through a process, and essentially out will come your presentation." And I just absolutely love that. I love the succinctness of it. I love that it's easy. I love that it's clever. I love that it's not a lot of thought power. I don't like to think. I joke with our Platinum Inner Circle folks quite often that we don't get paid to think, right? Some of us think we get paid to think, and there's a word for that: broke, right? And so, so what we really like to do is find opportunities and things and tools and systems that fall into our core principles with our Platinum Inner Circle group, which is our mastermind training group. And that's, they either need to save time and or make more money. And those are really the two things as business owners and entrepreneurs that we're always looking to do: save time and or make more money. And what Don and Bill have really put together falls in line with both of those perfectly. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to shut up. I'm going to pass this over to Bijal and let Bijal introduce Don and Bill. And I am fired up for you guys. We're only going to take 6 or 7 hours to get through this, so we should wrap at about 1 a.m. tonight. No, I'm joking. We'll keep you guys only for an hour, maybe an hour and change. So with that, please help me welcome Bijal to the party. So Bijal, welcome, my friend.
Thank you so much.
It's been so long. I think I saw you last night. We didn't see each other this morning, but I've seen more of you live in person the last couple of days than in like 2 years. It's been great.
Yeah, so let's give everyone some context. Both myself and Casey was called up last minute to MC probably the world's largest marketing event with all the heavy guns of marketing present. So Casey was kind of rushed down there Sunday evening to assist. If you know the names, Ryan Dice, Roland Frazier, literally the who's who in marketing were present. And one thing the event reminded me of, and so I went down there as well to support Casey. Have a guess. Well, actually, don't have a guess. Put in the chat if you know what is the highest paid skill in the realm of internet marketing. Of all the different things in internet marketing, guess what is the highest paid skill in the realm of marketing? Go ahead and put it in the chat if you think you know.
And we are playing the participation game. Okay, so Wesley says public speaking, influencers, selling ads. communication, Bill with copywriter. Ding, ding,
Bill, you're cheating, Bill. You don't get to answer, Bill. Yeah, so the highest paid skill in marketing is copywriting. Have a guess why. Why do you think copywriting is the highest paid skill? If you think you know, just take yourself on mute and just kind of share your thoughts. Okay, let me explain why.
I said because most people stink at it.
That's part of it, but here's why. Almost
Knowing how to
everything.
engage the buyer. Sorry.
Okay, here's why. Almost everything else can be delegated to lower cost labor overseas. Almost everything else, every single aspect from SEO to technology, you can pretty much find somebody at a fairly reasonable amount. But the highest paid skill in marketing by none is copywriting. How many of you ever seen those long pages of copy where it seems to just kind of go on forever? Yeah, everybody's probably seen that at some stage in visiting that. Have a guess what what it cost to hire a tier 2, not even a tier 1, a tier 2 copywriter to write that kind of copy. If you think you know, pop in the chat. If you know what it takes to write that kind of copy, you know, one of those long pages of copy, what is the going rate for that kind of page of copy? Anybody want to guess? Anybody had to hire a copywriter to write one of those pages? Okay, let me just make it simple. You are looking at the bottom end of the market, about $5,000 up to about $25,000, right? So and it'll take somebody about a day to 2 days to write that level of copy, right? So that's how much you're paying for copy. Over the years, I've written webinars for speakers. We've paid $10,000 for a day of consulting on getting taught how to write webinars for our company. $10,000, and they didn't write the whole thing. I still had to go in and tweak it. So copywriting by none is the most expensive thing. One of my very close friends, our daughters went to school together. All he does is he writes origin stories. If you don't, an origin story is basically a fancy way of saying an about me copy. About 3 paragraphs. His going rate is $2,500. Takes him about 4 hours of work, but he is the most in-demand writer when it comes to writing an origin story. Why? Because it builds trust. But what an origin story doesn't do, it doesn't sell your product. It doesn't sell your service. So that brings me back to Bill and Don. So I've known Bill and Don almost going back, wow, about 5-6 years now. Both are legendary speakers in their own right. And they, Bill kind of approached me and said, hey, we've got this thing called the 6-minute webinar. I said, tell me more, because I know that people's attention spans have reduced from the ability to pay attention to anything more than about 6 to 8 minutes. How many of you agree that everybody's attention span?
Oh,
so
yeah.
if we can learn how to sell, now when I say sell, I'm not saying you go and buy my product sell. A sell could be, hey, schedule a time to chat to me. A sell could be, have a look at my free download. Whatever the next step is in your sales cycle. Most people are spending their time, effort, and money trying to generate leads. They go crazy trying to generate leads. They're going to networking events. They're posting on Facebook, but they haven't figured out how to articulate what they actually sell, right? Why? Because they're all over the map. So when someone comes up to me and says, hey, we have a methodology of how to get people to articulate what they do in 6 minutes, and it works. And then I went through the process myself and said, okay, you show me. I'm not going to let you anywhere near our tribe until you can prove it to me. And they did. So I've used their, I've been through their program. I've been through their 6-minute script. Now, without further ado, let me introduce you to Bill Heinrich and Don McGrath, legends in the world of speaking, in the world of helping people articulate their message. And basically, they're going to show you something it's almost magical in what they do and how they do it. So Bill, Don, welcome to the show. Please take it away.
Bill, I think you're muted.
How's that for clarity? Thank you, Vijel. Yeah, the other thing you forgot to mention is I'm a legend in my own mind, too. So we're going to get in and talk about clarity tonight. I'm Bill Heinrich. I have over 50 years business experience. I work as a high-level business coach. I've created some programs, written some books, blah, blah, blah. Those things don't matter. What matters is which of you would like to create a client magnet with the words that you use by a show of hands. For when you speak, it just attracts people to you. We're going to show you how to do that. How's that? This is my partner, Don McGrath. Don, introduce yourself.
Thanks, Bill. Don McGrath. So I kind of got into this speaking gig because I wrote a bunch of books. I wrote 6 books. And when you write a book, you must speak or no one's going to know about your book. So I went on this journey and learned a lot about speaking. And Bill and I were involved in the startup of a company a few years ago called Speaker's Pathway. And one thing we had discovered, a problem we saw, is in the speaker training world, it's really expensive, isn't it? How many of you have gone to expensive speaker training or at least seen expensive speaker training? It can be $2,000 to $4,000 a day. Okay. Not even for the highest end. And what we found is when we went through that, there were a lot of people that just they weren't in the right place. Like they weren't either ready or they didn't get the right follow-up. So we started Speaker's Pathway to kind of help those people, to provide a lower cost, ongoing support kind of a model. And so one thing we found, Bill, right, is when people joined Speaker's Pathway, speaking was probably the last thing that they should be doing, right?
It's really true. And they were just confused. And the reason people have a lot of confusion, I should back up and tell you that my area of expertise is clarity. I can bring clarity to anything. I've been doing that for a number of years. We get so wrapped up in our business that we use language that people don't understand, and we're trying to explain our business and we're spewing information. We're trying to convince, and all the while wishing we had more clients and struggling with that. Who has experienced that? Because I certainly did. What we found out is this, is that you have one perfect customer. Okay, period. One perfect customer. Now I know that everybody's immediately thinking, yeah, but I do this for that and that for that. And we do so many different things. And I'm sure that you're in here from a variety of different industries and things that you do. And what we've done is created a framework to help you get clarity, to take you through a process that when you learn this process and use this framework, you can bring instant clarity to your message in every area that you serve. Right, Don?
Absolutely. And what we saw is people we would work with, they had a masterclass, they had a DVD program, they were doing a podcast, they were doing all of these things, and they would try to convey that message of all the ways that they help people in their marketing message. And what does that do? What does that do when you do that? Confusion. It causes confusion, and a confused mind does what? A confused mind does nothing.
Nothing.
Right? A confused mind does nothing.
Nothing,
So
honey.
when people would join, when we discovered this, we told people, we forbid you from developing anything new for the next 90 days. Do not, because what would happen is they would have like 12 different things, all great, but they weren't selling any of it. So what would they do? Oh, I got to create some new thing. And they would invest a lot of time and a lot of money. Who's maybe done that or knows somebody who's done that, right? We've all done it. And so we said, we forbid you from developing anything new. You pick one thing. I don't care if you sold one of them. And let's crack the code on the message. Let's crack the code on the message. And when we did that, we found people go from selling very little of a $200 program to having large $10,000 programs, like one of our people who was in the Reiki area. So it was like pouring super ninja rocket fuel on things, Bill, wasn't it?
Well, it's amazing because the narrower you get your focus, the clearer you get about how you serve others. And once you understand how you serve others, you can speak to them in a language that they understand. I'm going to tell you a couple things that are interesting. Number one, everybody put in the chat, what's the purpose of marketing? quick, throw some answers. What's the purpose of marketing? Add customers. Anybody else? Solve problems, find people, sell some stuff to sell, develop relationships. Okay. No, the purpose of marketing is to repel people. It's to repel people. You want your message to be so clear that you don't get caught up with the time parasites or the people that can't afford you. Your message needs to be that clear. And so the more simplified it is, the clearer it is, the easier it is to communicate with people. Another question for you. What do people value more, time or money? In the chat. We have one, money, but the rest are time. It's time, you can't replace time. So what happens is you can replace money. Time is gone. Like the 2 seconds I just spent saying that, they're finished. It's over. The important part is people recognize, and you build instant credibility and trust when you have a very clear, succinct message. Don, why don't you tell them about the framework of the 6-minute webinar? A little bit about that.
Yeah, the framework of the 6-minute webinar came about because we recognized that people were having a hard time finding the language. So we actually put together a framework of how to move someone from just getting to know you, just hearing about you, to moving them to some action. What we found is most people, once they have a customer, it was pretty easy to have them buy their next program. Who's found this? Like once you kill it with a customer, it's pretty easy, right? I mean, that's not the hard part. The hard part is bringing someone who hardly knows you to take some action with you, right? So that's the problem we were trying to solve, because people didn't have a hard time. Once they sold their first program and they kill it, take a note. There's no getting around being great. You must kill it with your customer. If you don't, just forget about it, right? So, but most of us do that. Most of us do that. But the problem is getting them from ground zero to move them to action. So we kind of came up based upon a talking architecture that we learned from a lot of the speaker training we went through. We developed that and we started doing boot camps. We started doing boot camps to show people and teach people how to do this. One thing we discovered is it's a 3-hour boot camp, and we were having a hard time teaching this framework as well as the content of the framework. So what we did is we developed an app. How cool is that? So it's an app where you answer 40 questions and it puts all 12 layers of the framework together in the right order.
12 critical areas that must be covered in order to build instant credibility and trust and have a person take a call to action.
And so most people, when they go to put together a talk or a webinar, they begin with, hey, I'm Don McGrath. I'm a best-selling author. I'm a speaker. I'm a coach. Okay, what does that do when I start like that? What does that evoke in you? I'm going to put it in the chat.
Someone's selling.
Selling, yeah, maybe. Oh, here it comes, right? I zone out because you know what? And I learned this. In fact, Bijel and I met at a speaker training where Les Brown was there, and he was adamant. He's like, people don't care about you. People don't care about you. So why do we all open with us? They don't care. What do they care about? In the chat, what do they care about?
With him.
Yes, yes, themselves, right? What's in it for me? So this framework has to get their attention, has to show that you understand the problem, has to connect with them emotionally, has to bring them on a journey where at the end, the right people can do nothing but say yes. And all the wrong people should leave as quickly as possible, right? All the wrong people should immediately go, no, I don't need this. I'm out of here. I'm going to go grab a cappuccino. And all the right people should be saying, tell me more, right? Does that sound good?
Yeah.
We have the 12 sections boiled down to a certain number of words in each section. You can't go over 800 words because you cannot read and communicate that in 6 minutes or less. And in our program, we show people how to record it, do all kinds of things with it. But the message itself is so compact, so clear. the first thing in the title is it's a 6-minute webinar about 3 keys to something. And the people, I've got 6 minutes. This ought to be interesting. But it goes so fast that before they know it, they're at the end and they're like, man, they knew what they were talking about because all the right components are there.
So who's curious about this app? Anybody want to see what this is about? Who likes quick?
Oh,
Anybody
yeah.
like quick?
Quick.
Who likes easy? Who likes simple? All right, so this is what we're going to show you. So I'm going to share with you the app, and what we're going to do is typically this would just be like in our boot camp. Often we'll go through and just do this with one person, and we did this with Bijal. Walked him through the whole 40 questions, and out came a 6-minute webinar script that had the right framework and brought people all the way through it. But today, just for fun, we're going to kind of have people bop in and bop out. So we're going to probably call on people. We'll ask you to put your answers to these questions in the chat, and we'll do some kind of laser coaching. Bill is like master of clarity, so he'll probably put you on the spot a little bit. So who's up for
Yeah,
that? Anybody?
if you'll put your answers in the chat, I'll just work with you on the fly. Don will call some of you in to hear your answers live, just to give you a feeling for what it's like. It's actually a lot of fun. This is our new best friend, ScriptPal.
So what ScriptPal does is it asks you 40 questions, and it helps build that framework with the content, and then you go edit it and make it more powerful. But this is ScriptPal, and it really does make copywriting fast, simple, and easy. So you don't have to go hire an expensive copywriter, because the ScriptPal does a pretty good job. So there's training videos in here to kind of walk you through it for the first time. So there's a couple ways to use ScriptPal. One is to build an initial script, and that's what we're going to do tonight. The other is when you come to our boot camp, you'll do ScriptPal before the boot camp, and then you can come to the boot camp with a Google sheet of the questions and answers, and you can modify them at the boot camp as you go through the coaching, and then you can upload it into ScriptPal and create a new updated script. So, but what we're going to do is we're going to create a script. And so this is all done by sections. So this first part is about your credibility story. Okay, that's one of the 12 pieces of the framework, your credibility story. So it's about what is your experience and what problem do you solve for?
Don, let's do it. Let's do a time check and maybe come up with a game plan here, because we're going to be we've got about 30 minutes. So you're going to want to move around to some of the different questions. What we could do is have Bijal read his 6-minute webinar at the end after we answer questions and so on.
Yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll call on people to answer these questions as we go. The resulting script, we may not even get through the whole script, but I want to get everybody the experience of what this is like. And then at the end, Bijal, you can read you'll get to see a complete product. But I thought it'd be fun if we just kind of have people answer the questions, and we populate stuff. Does that sound good?
Let's go for it.
Okay, we always start with the hardest question. What is your name? So who wants to go first? How about how about Kim? I think that's a good one. Kim
Blackwell.
All right, very good. So Kim, what is the name of your company, or what is one thing you are the proud creator of? So what's in the parentheses is like a prompt, and then there's an example. So the prompt is, I am the creator founder of blank.
My walk with God.
Okay, awesome. Oops. My walk with God. Awesome. How many years have you been doing the transformational work that you do?
3 years. I'm an author.
3 years?
Marketing. It was a book, so it's a book. So.
How many years have you been doing your life's work that led you here, though? I mean,
actually, 3 years, because I wrote the book to 2017.
Okay, 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, who are your ideal clients? Okay, and this is all in the context of one thing, one problem you solve for one class of people, not about everything that you do, but I want you to have in mind one thing. Okay, and is it your book?
Yes, stroke
okay,
survivors.
So who are your ideal clients? I show blank.
Stroke survivors.
Stroke survivors?
Yes.
Okay, and what problem do you solve for them? I show them how to blank.
I showed them how to recover their lives.
Very good. After, I'm going to add after stroke.
Yes.
Okay, is that fair?
Yes.
Now I want to pause here, and just want everyone to feel the brevity and power of these short things. Okay. Sometimes we just spew stuff, right? Like, what problem do you solve them? Oh, I help them do this and I do it this way. And right. But you see the power and the brevity? Yes. Okay. And then what? This is the last one of this section. So what are they able to have or do once their problem is solved? So they can. You help them to recover their lives after stroke, so they can what?
Get their independence back.
Wow.
Wow, that's awesome.
Now, while we have Kim answering these, why don't the rest of you throw your answers in the chat so we can see what you're putting in there. And if you have any questions, raise your hand and let us know.
Yeah, so I'll kind of scroll back up here. You don't have to put your name in. We know who you are. What is the name of your company, or what are you the proud creative? Go ahead and drop it in the chat.
How about your ideal clients? When you start looking at this in terms of one product or service, you can really narrow it down. And what it does, and here's a good example. How do you feel about this after answering those questions, Kim?
And really, actually, I feel a little emotional.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
There's a question. Someone said, what if we aren't the creator of our company, but are independent contractors? So I would say, what are you the proud creator of? Have you created something? Have you created?
Yeah. Who is, I'm sorry, who is that? Diane?
Diane?
Yeah, would you unmute?
Hi. Yeah, I mean, I
What do
do
you-
art that I create, but I'm not the creator in my Legal Shield and ID Shield business that protects
Right,
and empowers small business owners, right?
Okay, exactly. Okay, so let's just talk about one thing. Which one thing do you want to talk about?
Well, my question was, if I'm not the creator of it, can I still go through the exercise, or should I focus on my
Absolutely.
art? Okay.
Oh, no. Yeah, absolutely. What you'll find, the whole purpose of this, you have a justifiable stigma around that, right? In other words, it's not the same as your artwork, but you're the person that goes out and serves other people by introducing them.
Absolutely.
And you probably have a name for your business. What do you call your business?
I've called it Eberhart Enterprises or Eberhart Solutions.
There you go. So
There you
here's
go.
the name of your company, Eberhart Solutions. You are the creator of that, aren't you?
Okay. I
For
just
the-
wanted to clarify to make sure I was
Well,
going down the
Yeah,
right.
it's a great, see, it's a great question. These are the areas where people get stuck. Once we help you sort the puzzle pieces out and you see them there, it's kind of like the experience that Kim just went through was like, wow, that's really simple. And that says it specifically. So that's the
And-
whole purpose.
There may be people on here who are affiliate marketers who represent lots of products, but you can do one of these for each one of those products that you represent. But it wants to be one per, right? You got to have one in mind. Okay, 'cause otherwise you're trying to market everything. When you market everything, you market what?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Ashley, can you come on for a second? I'm just reading some of these. I'm sorry, Dot, I got to jump in.
Yeah.
Hi, Ashley. Hi, how are
Hi.
you? Hey, I love yours. I'm the founder of Sunshine Hill Properties. Love it. My ideal clients are people who are struggling.
Okay. Thank you.
To get financing for a new home. I help them get the loan and secure the home ownership. So you put my ideal clients are people who cannot qualify for a mortgage loan. No. They're struggling to get the financing they need. You're speaking to their problem. You're not speaking to the result. The result is they don't get the loan at this moment, right?
Right.
How do they feel inside? Give me 3 ways they feel inside. Angry would be one. I'm sure. Frustrated. Yeah. This is
Defeated was how I felt when I
defeated. Perfect. See, everybody, this is how you speak to the people you serve. Like Kim said, I got very emotional.
So can I throw some out there for Diane?
Yep, go ahead.
So Diane Kephart, founder of Kephart Solutions, giving small business owners and their families peace of mind in making great decisions through affordable legal access. I would add something in there about giving
I would change that.
business owners and families peace of mind in avoiding expensive legal problems.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
right?
like
That's
that
a real
twist.
pain.
yeah.
I like
right?
the twist. Thank you, Don.
Yeah, and it's really about
And
connecting with the
I would
emotion.
want to throw some language in there, Don, about expensive legal problems that pop up out of nowhere, you know.
That come from left field, come from nowhere.
You see how you're speaking to their emotions there? I think it was Diane, right?
Absolutely. I like that twist and I wrote it down.
So this, you see how these few questions and very short.
Okay, let me do one more real quick for
Okay.
Pedro. Pedro's the creator of Strategy Bookkeeping. He said, I help people with their business finances. Everything just moved on me. I help people with business finances and I help business owners only paying their fair of tax and not a penny more. Okay. Pedro is the creator of Strategy Bookkeeping. He shows people how to hold on to more money by planning properly and using all of their advantages in the tax law.
So who
And
likes
Pedro-
this?
Pedro-
Anybody getting value out of this? Give me
Yes.
in the chat. Yeah, is this useful?
Yes.
Pedro, that's kind of a blanket one we threw out there. You could do some very specifically for W-2 earners. You could do them for entrepreneurs. You could do them. There's just I could think of 20 different little 6-minute pitches you could do. You have to connect emotionally the way Diane did when we changed hers. Diane Gephardt, we changed hers out of, blah, blah, blah to, hey, beware of the looming financial disaster coming from a legal
So
action.
who believes that words have energy? Yes.
Yes.
And in general, Bill and I have discovered through the many, many boot camps that we've done is, in general, the fewer words, the more powerful. Who believes that? And often we find when we work with people, we'll take the big, long, rambling thing with words that hardly anybody really understands what they mean and bring it down to 6th grade language, the painful legal problems that come out of nowhere, right? And so it's like sprinkling dynamite in a cornfield, right? It's not going to light, but you wrap it in some paper and pow. All right, so this is these few simple questions really formulated Kim's credibility story and all your credibility story. What's important about the credibility story? Why do we need a credibility story? Why is that an important part of the framework?
Trust.
Trust.
Yeah.
Here's what you did. You're the creator of this. You've been doing this for so many years. You help so-and-so with that, right? I mean, it just connects, and yes, excellent.
We're gonna go get through as many of these sections as we can, as you can see, because I do want to go through, ask more questions and have you put them in the chat. But the most important thing is we're going to go through the problem, what the problem is that you solve, and you need to really get specific, because then you have to come back and say, here's how I'm familiar with this problem, right? What was the problem that you wanted to solve that you connected with Kim in writing that book?
Loss of independence, because I had a stroke myself.
Mhm.
And I was
So
very
you-
independent.
If she's speaking to somebody, she's saying, after I had my stroke and lost my independence, I knew I had to make a difference, right?
Yes.
Every one of us has that story inside of us. And you have it for each, like in the case of Pedro, who does bookkeeping, does a lot of different things. You have it for each of those areas. And you have to always address the pain and the emotional aspect. We don't care what your name is. I don't care if you have a degree. I don't care if you've written a book, unless the book is on the subject that you're specifically speaking to, like Kim is. None of that matters. What the people want to know is, I have this problem. I need to speak to somebody that I can trust to resolve it. Go ahead, Don.
Okay, this
You
next
can cut me
section.
off, by the way, if I get going on one of
Nope,
my
no problem, no problem.
pages.
Hey,
Okay.
can I ask a quick question?
Sure,
Yeah,
Eric, go ahead.
Since we're kind of right there, in the area of how many years have I been doing my work in building trust? I just started out. So what would you recommend?
What do you do?
I'm promoting gut health products. Okay,
Gut health?
gut health
Okay.
products,
Okay,
correct?
let me ask you a question. How
Sure.
long have you been researching and doing work in this health field?
About 2 months.
You've never looked into health before that? You never used any
Yeah,
other?
I actually have. My mom was very, very much into gut health, and that's kind of why I relate to this.
How long ago? Right there's your
That
story.
was
See?
10 years ago. Okay, and I've used that. So
Well, but that's how you connect. If you're going to talk about gut health, it's like my mom went through this, and it was like, oh, I had to find some answers, and I started doing research, and that's a client magnet.
okay,
That's
good.
somebody that goes, my gut's bothering me, Eric. Tell me more. Tell me more. I want to know more. Right? Because you have the experience. It's so
Excellent.
critical.
and
Yeah,
for most of us, it's
my
our
aunt
life
died from
lessons.
C. diff, which is. Go ahead, Don.
I think most of us have life experiences that led us to do what we do today, right? And that's all valuable information, right? I like, it wasn't just the books, it was all the experience I had before that gave me the information to go write the books.
Yes.
Right. And so I think it's very valid to say I've been on this path for 20, 30 years. Right. So, yeah. So you were going to say something, Eric? Sorry.
I want to address it. Cindy Lee real quick.
Okay.
Cindy Lee, founder, creator of StreamYard Podcast Mastery Workshop. Okay. That's too long. Ideal client, small to medium business owners looking to learn skills on streaming live and getting out of their comfort zone. Problem solved to overcome anxiety of live streams. They aren't looking for that at all, Cindy. They're looking to expand their business, grow their revenues, meet more people. They're looking to become an influencer. And the comfort zone you're referring to is what your words put them in, that comfort zone. Hey, wow, she knows what she's talking about. So yeah, like that. The rest of it could use some wordsmithing. Much too long.
Okay.
Much too long.
Because
I
that's
mean,
the
I would
feedback
just shorten
usually
that
get.
to,
What
the Ask Cindy podcast.
Yeah, the Ask Cindy podcast. What are three benefits that they get from your course?
They actually get to learn the whole StreamYard back office, like how they could do a StreamYard. And
So they get a blueprint to operate their podcast. What else?
and for those who don't
You
want
don't-
to do podcasts,
What about for them that don't want to do podcasts?
so they can use StreamYard as a way to post simultaneously. So when StreamYard, you could actually go on Facebook, YouTube, and all that.
So yeah, we don't care about that. What we care about is it's people that want the 2 for 1.
Mhm.
You want twice the exposure with half the work. That's what that is, right?
Mhm.
You see how we changed that?
Yes.
All right, let's-
It isn't about their comfort zone. You are providing them with a blueprint to take them past the challenges that they just currently don't understand.
All right, in the interest of time, I want to have people see more of the framework. So we're going to go a little bit quicker.
Okay, I'll be
And
quiet.
I think there'll be opportunities for people to get coaching. You know, if they like this, they can come to the boot camp that we're doing. But this next section is about a strategy call. So what is the name of the strategy call and what do they get when they work with you? So anybody do strategy calls? Who does strategy calls as part of their business? We designed ScriptPal and this framework to use this as the call to action, just because we think our experience is many people do them. And they're really a good way to build for people to take a first step to get to know you better. You can always substitute in other calls to action, but for the purpose of the boot camp, we suggest using the strategy call. So this is all about the strategy call. So you want to pick out somebody else that we can pick on, Bill?
Who does strategy calls? Who meets with clients? Natalie, come on down.
Yes, I call mine a free breakthrough session.
Great. Okay, we got to shatter that. Dawn, I've got to go to the other room. Dawn, I can't be quiet. Okay, keep going, Dawn. I'll be quiet.
I will say this: we could help you take that to a whole new level. But good for you for having a name. We find many people who come to the boot camp, they don't even have a name for it, and the problem
What problem do you solve, Natalie?
I'm a life coach. Well, actually, I'm a confidence coach for women entrepreneurs.
Okay. It's a free confidence breakthrough session. Just for now, that's good, but that's still not. When we hit the nail, we want to get it square
Okay.
and hard.
Okay, so that's the name. And then it's important to have a name. It makes it physical in people's mind. You know, they can put some meat around it. What result will someone be able to achieve when they work with you? They will be able to what?
Natalie.
So have the confidence to live their purpose and achieve their entrepreneurial goals.
Okay, Natalie, we definitely need to work with you.
I'm just
You know,
gonna say
let me tell you why, Natalie. You know
Okay.
what the problem with that is?
No.
What you said doesn't mean anything.
Okay.
Now I'm being brutally honest. I used to talk that way. I'll show you how to 10x your confidence and your income.
Okay.
You see the difference in that? Who cares about purpose and business goals? Like
Okay.
you got to
Well,
give
I care
them
about purpose. I guess that's where I was coming from.
Yeah, but
It's you. That's it.
your purpose isn't what you do, it's how you do it. That's a whole nother subject. That happens to be my area of expertise, is teaching people their life purpose.
And you notice what Natalie said? She said, I care about it.
Right.
You
But-
shouldn't care about it.
And what?
You don't need to care about it. We need your clients to care about it.
Right.
See the difference?
Yes, I definitely see the difference.
We speak in our language, and this is why the clients don't hire us.
Yes. I totally understand what you're saying.
So there's 2 or 3 areas that I know you specialize in, problems that people have. You want to speak to those?
All right, talk about problem, the next part of the framework. And these are not in the order that they're going to be in the webinar. This is all just that build these questions and answers.
We're just getting answers to questions. Yeah.
So what does your client want that holds them back? So this is about that. We want to pick somebody else, Bill?
No, let's keep Natalie there.
Okay. What results?
You're doing great, Natalie. We're just having fun with you. So don't worry.
Okay.
So Natalie, what result does your ideal client want? They would love to blank.
Yeah, just like what you said, they would love to make more money in their business.
But why? Are they looking for less stress? are they just, if you're not a life coach, if you're just helping to make money, you're a business coach?
No, I also like work with my clients on work-life balance. That's what I always start with.
Right.
And we talk
They want
about,
to, okay, so they want to work less and make more money, Don.
well, and they do want meaningful lives as well
They,
as,
they want to work
know.
less
well, okay.
and make more money.
Yeah, that's true.
All the rest of it is all the free. This is when you're first speaking to them, how you connect with them. I teach people how to work half the time and double their income. Really? I want to hear more about that.
So
Right.
when people first get to know what you do, who thinks they care how you help them, like the mechanic, like how, whether you have a 12-step, who believes they really care about that? Anybody?
They don't.
Nope, just get
They
me.
don't.
They want to do it.
We love to talk about it though, don't we?
Yeah.
Do we?
Okay.
Right? Yeah, we love our 12 program steps and we love
Right.
right? We love it, right?
Yeah.
And it's not about us, right? It's
And
not
you-
about us. All right. So,
Right.
You don't talk
Natalie.
about those until they've joined them.
Natalie, what is one thing? Now we're going to get to the pain. Okay. This is the pain
Okay.
and the problem. So what is one thing that your ideal client does that costs them significant time and energy that isn't getting them the result they want? They blank.
Yeah, they engage in negative self-talk. So that's exactly what I help
Perfect.
them do,
Great. Great.
is start talking positively to themselves.
All right.
Help
So
them
talk about the
find-
how. We're going to talk
John,
about
let me
the
point,
problem.
I need to point something out here with pain. Okay. Pain is the name of the game. Pain is the language that you're going to use to connect with your clients. Your familiarization with pain, how you went through it, and their specific pain, not solutions. It's when you can,
Wow.
when you can communicate to them that you understand and connect up empathetically with their misery, you have a client.
Mhm.
Right.
At that point, they might ask your name, literally.
Okay.
Isn't that right, Kim?
Yes. Pain is the image.
And it's so simple, and we all get lost in our own language, and we get lost in all the new spiritual jargon and everything going on out there. It's that people just, they want to get out of pain.
Back to the pain. All right, Natalie, what is one thing that your ideal client does that frustrates and blocks them? They blank.
That goes back to the negative self-talk.
Something else.
Something else.
You could say that that they're judgmental
Right. They're
And-
judgmental of themselves. For
of
sure.
themselves and others.
Critical of themselves.
Uh-huh.
And when they get frustrated, well, when they get overwhelmed, then they spin in wasting time.
All right. Now, did
That's how
everybody
they
feel
get
that?
stuck.
Did everybody feel that with Natalie when she said they are critical of themselves and others? Did you feel the power of that? Did you feel the power in that? Did you feel how the energy went away when Natalie continued on?
Yeah.
Did you feel that? Like the
Yes.
more Natalie went on and tried to explain and convince, took energy from the pain. And I'm not picking on you, Natalie. We all do it. Okay. But
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
wanted people to
It's-
feel the energy in those words.
You see, there's only one way that we all connect. And you're probably not all aware of this. Okay. We don't connect intellectually. We only connect through emotions.
Wow.
You'll never remember, no one will ever remember what you said, but they'll always remember how you made them
Made them
feel.
feel.
Right.
Maya Angelou's statement.
That this is what stops selling, and you start connecting and create client magnets when you talk in language of pain. It's so incredible.
All right, Natalie, what is one thing that your ideal client does that costs them significant money without delivering results? What do they do that cost them significant money?
They'd have to be making bad decisions.
They take
Well-
expensive courses. Do they follow like the newest shiny object, or what do they spend money on?
Right. I mean, that's one of the things that they do. Yes. They do follow the shiny object.
Chase bright shiny objects.
How about spend too much time in negativity?
You have to be physical.
Yeah, we said that.
Oh, okay.
Right.
All right. Okay.
Right. But Eric, you want to speak in terms of being physical. Okay. Negativity is a concept. So how does it show up? It's like Kim talked.
Oops, Bill, you got muted somehow.
Yeah, Kim was talking about the people that have lost their freedom, right? Like now we can really connect with that.
So in the interest of time, I know we're that you could see, in our boot camp, which is 3 hours long, we do the success seat with as many people as we possibly can. Tonight, we're constrained on time. What I'd like
Let's get one more person in, Don,
Okay,
because we're
All right.
running.
this next,
Who's finding this interesting?
learn something?
Yes.
Throw some
Yes,
comments
that
in the chat box.
Mhm.
So this next section is about your struggle story. So you have your credibility story. Now this is about your struggle story. This is where people will connect with you empathetically when they know your struggle story. So you need to think about like a moment in time when you were like in the pits, right? When you were in the midst of your struggle that led you to the important work that you do today. So you want to nominate somebody, Bill?
Well, why don't you can take Eric, or is there somebody else that wants to jump in? Do we have a volunteer?
Rommel, do you want to do this?
Sure, I'll do it.
Okay, Rommel.
Okay, so you have a specific moment in mind, Rommel?
What
What
was
do
the
you do?
question?
A specific experience when you were
just one second.
struggling?
Yeah, 1 second, Don. What do you do for work, Rommel?
I'm everything senior care and senior housing in Las Vegas.
Okay, that's a pretty. Why are you involved in that line of work? What was your past experience that wanted you to help out in that area?
Uh,
What struggle did you have yourself around?
I basically ran 10 residential care facilities for the elderly, and then I managed 29 of them in Las Vegas. And through a 7-year period, I got to know everything and anything about healthcare for our seniors.
So, and when did that experience happen that you started learning all that?
2014.
Okay.
Okay, 2014. So this is this is when you were in the midst of that struggle, that learning process that brought you to what you do today. So if that was 2014, that was what, 7 years ago?
7 years ago.
Seven.
What caused you to leave there and do what you're doing now?
Health conditions.
Whose? Yours or theirs?
Mine's. I almost got divorced from my wife, and I had 3 transient ischemic attacks that the next one, my neurologist said, would have put me 6 feet under.
So I want you to think about that moment when you were like, had one of those ischemic, maybe it was your first one, maybe it was the third one, where you were in the depths, right? You were just like, oh man, like this is bad. I need to do something. So I want you to go to that moment. Okay. So it was 7 years ago. What were you trying to accomplish when you're at the depth? Like what had you been trying to accomplish? I was trying to
buy more group homes.
More group homes? Okay, so you can make more money, I would imagine, right? You're trying to buy more group homes and grow your business.
Not so much to make money, but to make more relationships, because the relationships would be what would drive my money.
I'm just going to say, and grow my business.
Build my business. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. What struggle did you face? I struggled because I what? Because I blank. I struggled because I blank.
I got taken advantage of by families, by other healthcare professionals, and also by other group homeowners.
I'm going to say something like had experienced, because I experienced incredible stress. Right?
See, there's a big, huge story here with Rommel that really needs to be boiled down more. We're going to move through this, but we all have these stories inside us. They grow over the years because we have a tendency to want to protect ourselves and what we're doing and explain things. And so from a clarity standpoint, we end up kind of confusing ourselves or bringing a lot more into what's going on, when the heart of the matter is you just want to help somebody.
And I think we could probably help unpack that, but we don't have the time. So I just got to, I kind of, what I gave my personal, like, condensing, I had experienced incredible stress that affected my health. Right. What disappointing result did you get? I was disappointed that what?
I end up having to liquidate half of my portfolio.
Hey, that hurt.
Yeah.
All right. And then how did this make you feel?
Angry. Like I wanted to beat somebody up.
Okay. So,
let's do a time check.
What was that
here.
like for you, Rommel? What would
Don, 1 second. Casey, I want to do a time check with you because this can go on for a little while.
Yeah, I want to make sure, because we told everybody it was going to be somewhere between an hour and 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah, we want to answer
so
questions. Maybe what we should do, Don, is get to the sample. We could use the gels and then answer questions for people.
That's where I'd like to go is, you got who got the experience of what this is like? You kind of get it, right? There's probably like another 15 or so questions, but we wanted to show you, obviously the script that would be produced by this would be gibberish because it contains a bunch of different answers for a bunch of different problems. But we wanted to share an example with you of a script that came out of ScriptPal. So Bijal, do you have your script with you, or do you want me to share?
No, I do. So let me. I think what I should do is actually share what gets generated, and then I'll read it. I think it would be great for people to kind of see what they get back.
Maybe if I could say just a couple, once you show it, I'll talk about the framework, just like the structure of what you see on the screen before Bijal goes through. Does that work, Bijal?
That's perfect. Yeah.
So what comes back to you, you finish answering the questions, you hit submit. Within a minute, you get basically this back in your email box. And what it does is it has these 12 different sections, 12 different pieces of the framework. There's the introduction, future pacing. Now you see it, now you don't. So we actually break it up into those 12 different elements. We give you word counts that help to guide you to be under that 6 minutes and keep it very, very powerful. Your answers are in bold, so you can go in and change your answers in your script if you want to make it better. So anything to add to that about the framework, Bill?
Yeah, once you learn the framework with the discovery session, and the reason we want you to use a discovery session, because we don't want you to get lost in your programs. We want you to learn the framework, because once you learn it and you have the script and you have it buffed out and it's under 800 words, you can take the bolded words out and insert different words for another area where you serve. And in minutes, you can just write another complete script, literally in just a few minutes.
All right, Bijal, you want to let her rip?
Sure thing. All right, here we go. Welcome to the 6-minute webinar where I'll share with you 3 keys to make more money, more time, more money, and more time freedom. Let me ask you a question. What would it feel like to truly enjoy running your business, become profitable, and end each day feeling complete and accomplished? Awesome, right? Well, as a business owner, we'd all love to have more sales and outsource our busy work. But running a business is challenging and requires a lot of hard work. And if you're like most of the 3,000 plus entrepreneurs I have personally spoken to, you're doing all the busy work yourself. Or worse, you procrastinate or avoid doing the important work. You're feeling overwhelmed, wearing too many different hats and doing too many different things. Maybe you might even want to scale, but you're on a tight budget. Does any of this sound familiar to you? Look, I can relate. Back in 2005, I was trying to get my new mind body wellness center off the ground. I was doing everything from marketing, admin, sales, customer support. No matter how hard I worked, every day I felt I was on a treadmill and not getting results. Look, the irony, I was overwhelmed and stressed trying to build a relaxation business. Yeah, go figure. This experience made me feel drained, deflated, and ultimately defeated. I turned my passion into a pile of poop, and I wanted to turn my back on my dream business. Has something like this ever happened to you? However, in 2009, I unexpectedly stumbled upon a solution that helped me overcome overwhelm, punch out procrastination, and ultimately increase my revenue. Now, if you'd like me to share the solution with you, keep listening. My promise to you is that by the end of this 6-minute webinar, you will know 3 keys to running a profitable business that does not drown you in deathly morbid work. Does that sound good to you? Look, my name is Bijal, creator and co-founder of The Process Hive. And for over a decade, I've been showing entrepreneurs who need lead generation, sales, social media, and admin level support how to outsource their day-to-day busy work so they can reclaim their time and, more importantly, their sanity. Like I said, I stumbled upon a solution that changed everything quite unexpectedly. Early in 2009, I read The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. It sounded too good to be true, but the seed of outsourcing busy, difficult, mundane work started to grow inside of me. And while attending events that year, I met other entrepreneurs struggling the way I had been. It was then I decided to hire a couple of VAs in the Philippines. I went into action and started delegating the mundane, boring, yet critical work to them. The more I delegated, I discovered I could focus on things with the better use of my time. I then joined forces with a much larger company, and over the next 10 years, we grew our team from 100 to 500 virtual assistants servicing entrepreneurs all over the world. In December 2019, I started a new outsourcing company that focused on helping entrepreneurs outsource processes, activities, responsibilities, tasks, aka parts of the business they did not want to do, but must do. As you can imagine, people always ask me to share the secrets to successful outsourcing, so I decided to simplify the solution. So here are the 3 steps to outsource processes, activities, responsibilities, and tasks that need to be done in your business or you hate doing or avoid doing. Step number 1, identify where you procrastinate and what you want to delegate. Step number 2, prioritize what to delegate. And step number 3, delegate and celebrate. When these 3 steps are implemented in the proper way, the results are astounding. Now, Jason delegated lead generation to us. He told me this resulted in consistent lead flow, leading to new business. How would you like that? Today, we take entrepreneurs through our 3-step process during the outsourcing ROI consulting call to show them how to become more productive, get their time back, make more money, and grow their business efficiently. Question: are you ready to stop procrastinating, increase your revenue, and win your time back? If you're thinking yes, then you're ready to have a call with myself one of my senior virtual assistants with over 10 years of experience helping clients like you for a complimentary outsourcing ROI consulting call. When you register for the outsourcing ROI consulting call, you will finally understand exactly what you need to outsource, discover the tools to help you outsource effectively, and feel confident and empowered to outsource confidently and effectively. Participants have told me that this call has changed their life and is priceless. Click the link below and book your time with me. Now is the time to start to win your time back. Act now. I can't wait to help you experience the possibilities. Click the button below and secure your spot now.
What does everybody think? Good? Yeah? We'll click the
Put some
button?
comments in the chat.
Yeah.
I love the name of your discovery call. It's fantastic.
So pretty much all the bold is my answers, and the non-bold is the script.
So Vijay, how long did that take you to do?
It took me, I would say, from the time I generated the script to maybe about 30 minutes of massaging, just to kind of make the words flow. I changed a few of the concepts, added a little bit more of the story in there. But literally it was 30 minutes after we generated the script.
And I think we spent 40 minutes or so. So
Yeah.
in about an hour, you were able to generate this, which is, I don't know, who would like to be able to, in an hour, generate copy like that would ordinarily take a whole day, probably. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, I had to put together a landing page for something, and Don and I were laughing about it because all I did was go into ScriptPal. I spent 15 minutes. I went through there so fast, it was crazy because I wasn't going to be reading it as a script. I just wanted the clarity. In 15 minutes, I had everything I needed to build all the copy for the landing page.
Questions?
Anybody have any questions?
Comments, jokes?
I have to
There you
say,
go.
I am so intently listening to this that literally one of my friends texted or Skyped me and she's like, stop frowning. And I'm like, I'm so not frowning. I'm so it takes so much to keep me focused. And I love this. And what I really loved was knowing Bijal and knowing him as well as I do, listening to him do that. I wanted to hire, and I'm a client, so I wanted to rehire like over and over because it actually was so clear and there wasn't a lot of fluff.
Yeah, it's actually not uncommon in our boot camp to have people want to sign up. There's one thing with this guy, Rennie Gabriel, who does wealth, building wealth. And people were like, you're like, I want your next program start.
Give me your
it's
email.
not uncommon.
The other thing that's very common with this, Casey, you've been in this game quite a while. The people that have the greatest appreciation for what this is are the people with the most experience, because they understand this framework, how quickly it can take you to that place you need to be to build out from, right, Casey?
Absolutely. And just living in the digital world, I know how high the investment level is for copywriters. And I think this and the boot camp, you guys are going to have a lot of copywriters really upset because what you're really doing with this script and is you're putting the power back in the business owner, and you're putting the power back in the hands of people that run businesses that are almost too afraid to invest in this kind of copywriting because it's just so high, right? It's super,
Right.
super
Well,
expensive.
it's the difficulty is to get the right clarity to speak to the perfect client, right? So even with Bijil's, we could take his and focus in on coaches, for instance. We could take his and focus in on practitioners or something like that. But he's got the core clarity of his service, of how he serves the world. And whenever he talks about his business, what was it called? I like the ROI discovery call. I don't remember the whole name of it.
Outsourcing ROI.
The outsourcing ROI discovery call. It's
Boom.
like, find out about outsourcing, find out what it costs, find out how much more you can make. It's perfect.
Well, and what I really love about this, Bill, is that, and you kind of touched on it, but I'll expand it a little bit, is especially for those folks that have multiple products and multiple services and multiple businesses. I mean, like I was listening to Bijal's script going, wow, this could be redone for chiropractors. It could be redone for veterinarians. It could be redone for marketers. It could be redone for network marketers. It could be redone for affiliate marketers. With a few simple tweaks, create those videos over and over and over. And if you didn't want to do just that, those videos going up on YouTube, speaking over and over and over again. It's like instant video content. And you, Bijal will know this. I'll just reference this. Think Shayna when she gets a hold of this, right? So we you know, we haven't even talked about repurposing and all that kind of content stuff. But this is great. Can we invite these guys to come to the boot camp?
Yeah, who wants to hear more about the boot camp? We talked about it several times. It's on September 25th, so it's coming. It's on Saturday, September 25th. Let me share.
Hey, we have a super deep offer here, not just for the boot camp. We've got some things here, Casey, on that we're going to throw in. We'll speak about each of them a little bit. Okay.
So when you come to our boot camp, again, it's Saturday, September 25th. It's coming up next week. When you get the ticket, which is a $499 value, you get a 30-day access to ScriptPal. So unlimited use for 30 days. You can use that ScriptPal tool that we just went through for as many of your products as you can go to town on it. You'll get instruction at the boot camp on creating your own 6-minute webinar. Bill and I do for 3 hours. We do live fire coaching with that, including as many people as we possibly can in the success seat. There's 3 hours of the live coaching. We share dozens of ways that you can use your 6-minute webinar, because many people say, okay, I got the webinar, now what? So we share dozens of ways that we've seen people successfully use their 6-minute webinar to generate business. And you also get a replay of the boot camp, so you can go back. Does this sound good? Would this be cool? But we don't want to stop there. Bill and I actually have some other things that we want to include when you come to our boot camp. And this is really just for this group. So one bonus is training that Bill does, and it's incredible. I've been in it before. It's unbelievable. It's give a kick butt strategy call masterclass, and it's super powerful. Bill, you want to say a word or two about that?
If you ever speak to anyone about your business, you should come to this. With what I teach in this, my closing rate in speaking to people is over 95%. And
it's incredible.
There's no BS in that number, none whatsoever.
You get people on the strategy call, and
you'll learn how it's really part of communicating with clients and through pain and emotion.
The second one is a training that Bill and I have done several times. It's called Nail Your Niche. This will help you to get really, really focused on your niche, one of your niches for one of your 6-minute webinars. The third is a course we call the 5 Secrets to Building Trust and Credibility, which is the 6-minute webinar is great at, but we will help you to take that to a new level. So if you do the math, it's almost $3,000 in value between all the things you get in the boot camp and these bonuses. But sign up today, and for $149, it's basically dinner out for you and your significant other. You know, you can get this incredible tool. You can get access to ScriptPal for 30 days. You can get all these other training courses. Bill's training alone is worth doing this for. I'm telling you, I've been through it. So just where's the link? There's the link. Okay, so it's 6minutewebinar.com/bootcamp. Does somebody want to drop that? Michelle or Bill, you want to drop that link in the chat?
I've dropped it already in the chat to everybody several times.
Excellent. So we'd love to have you come. It's a 3-hour boot camp. It's not come and listen. It's come and do what we did today on steroids, and you'll get your chance in the success seat.
Wow.
I'll guarantee this. You come through the boot camp, you will be blown away by what you learn. You will literally be blown away.
Yeah, and The script I shared was developed during the boot camp. So that script was a result of the boot camp. So.
Right. And I want to apologize to the people I helped tonight. I'm very direct, but when we're working with this, we go right for clarity. When there's clarity and there isn't clarity. And we don't want to beat around the bush. We just want to give you the stuff that's going to help you. You know, there are people out there who are waiting for you. You just need to learn to speak to them. It's literally that simple.
So questions, anybody have any questions about the boot camp or 6-minute webinar or anything that's bugging you before we wrap today?
I think I heard you say the boot camp is 3 hours.
It's 3 hours. And we go all the way from, you know, what is the framework? We walk through and explain what the framework is. We go through live fire, like a whole 6-minute webinar. We walked all the way to the end, generate a script. We then teach you how to create the slides that accompany the script. We show you how to record it. We share ways to utilize it. So it's a whole enchilada.
Yeah, and Greg Molinar is asking how much to use the app after the 33 days. It's we have the program after that, Greg, is $99 for the year.
So you can have access to that app for a year for $99. Who think that's a screaming deal? Like, really? I mean, I don't know. We price this because we want to give access to people, right? We want to enable people to be able to not have to hire like expensive copywriters that, by the way, often don't do the best job because they don't speak in your authentic voice, right?
It's a screaming deal.
What I really love and appreciate about this is, as a marketer, I'm always looking at, I invest money, energy, and resources into something. What is my return on that investment? And I have to say, you know, in watching this, I am so blown away that for, you know, $150, I mean, if somebody goes through this and they can't figure out how to do a 6-minute webinar and sell more of their product, it's probably one widget for most of us, or less, to have that on a payback. I understand that there are going to be some people that are scared because we're actually forcing them to create something that will actually work. And sometimes I think people get addicted to being busy and addicted to trying to figure it out on their own. Again, this is just a shortcut. It's literally like taking a key into a lock and just clicking at one little thing, and the whole world opens up, and you now have access to, like, I am super fired up. This is my super fired up face because the value of this is massive.
Hey, Casey, just look at what it's worth. I think it was Diane that I helped with the wording on her legal stuff. That's worth thousands of dollars.
Huge.
In clients, right? Just that, who was it with the bookkeeping business? We'll show you guys things. You don't just use this in what you're going to learn in a 6-minute webinar. You use it every time you speak about your business.
I was just going to say, my guess is that there's also probably a way of going through this scripting format to create essentially a long form elevator pitch to some extent, because you can take bits and pieces out and move them around and stuff. I mean,
in fact, Casey, I would venture to say that maybe half of the people who go through the boot camp don't even record a webinar. That they take the script and the language, they got their credibility story, they got their struggle story, they got their success story, they got their they go and they just start giving talks. They start speaking like that at their networking meetings. They get on live videos and use them. So yeah, I mean,
it's funny you say that, Don, because, you know, I teach and train networking literally around the planet. And one of the things that drives me most crazy in going to networking events is this idea that we're going to stand up and pitch and commercial and do all of this rigmarole, because nobody even knows what they're going to say. I mean, you have people in 20 years in business get a microphone in front of their face and say, tell me a little bit about your business. And they have no concept, and they don't even, it's such a lack of confidence, a lack of clarity, a lack of wording. This script literally solves for that.
All of it. Every bit of
You
it.
know what most people do? They say, hi, I'm Don McGrath. I'm a best-selling author. I'm a speaker. I'm a coach. And now you've taken the 7 seconds that you have to get someone's attention and you make yourself sound like everyone else.
Yeah, I think this is great. Gang, so I'm gonna drop the link in here one more time. It looks like Connie, you had a question or a comment.
I had a question. You mentioned before that we'd get some work to do before the actual week, so we're ready when we come in.
Yeah, so you'll
Oh, yeah.
get an email with some instructions and a link to ScriptPal, so you can actually go through ScriptPal before the boot camp. But we encourage you to do that.
We insist that you'll get the link that you go through ScriptPal first. Because when you come to the 6-minute webinar with your script or your answers, that's what we're working on. And we pick somebody, work with them live and go through every one. And at the same time, I'm working with everybody else in the chat. We fly through it. It's a 3-hour boot camp that goes by in about 5 minutes. I can tell you that. And no one ever wants to leave when we get to the end of it. They never want to leave. They're just learning so much.
We got to kick them out. We're like,
Yeah.
no, go.
It's the truth. So yeah, you'll work with ScriptPal first. That way, when you come, you'll have because when you come and you have answers from ScriptPal, I can help you sharpen them like that. We can go just so fast.
Yeah.
I want to thank Jal and Casey for having us.
One second. We had somebody else speaking, Don.
Yeah, the beauty of this workshop is it's a get it done workshop. It's not sit there and listen on how to write a script. You get to walk away with a script. It's invaluable. As the folks I told you earlier on, that hiring copywriters for this type of thing will literally cost you thousands of dollars, and it still won't be in your voice. You're going to get something back in your voice, and you're going to learn how to do it. You know, unless you're happy to pay a copywriter thousands of dollars to do this for you, everybody should be registered. If you're not registering, I question why, because there's nothing like this at this price that you're going to get in terms of helping you articulate with clarity how to create what we call a call to action script, right? This is why people don't sell. They don't sell because they can't communicate what they do. It's plain and simple. So
yeah.
And we're throwing in those other 3 programs. And like Don said,
Unbelievable.
My program where I teach you how to do a discovery call and talk to clients, I guarantee you I could do it for somebody right now, and I would give you the warning before you did it that you will want to hire me when you're done. So don't start unless that's the way I start, right? Because it's that good. And the reason it's good is I have the right framework.
I love it. You know, when we look at marketing and sales and those, here's the thing. You know, I was just at this event over this weekend with several thousand of the folks that drive these conversations across billions and billions of dollars. And if I heard the word oh, for crying out loud, Mom, if I heard the word framework one more time, and the reason we heard the word framework over and over and over again is because people spend millions of dollars breaking things apart and reconstructing them to create frameworks, which is why something like this being given to us is a huge, huge opportunity. So I am super fired up. Don and Bill, I want to thank you guys. I know we kept you a little longer than we even asked for. I appreciate that you took some time to jump in here. B, any final words from you before I kind of close this thing out?
I wanted to thank. Go ahead.
I again, I want to just thank Don and Bill. I mean, I've had a chance to go through this workshop. And I said the very first thing I messaged them even before it ended. I said, guys, I have to get you guys to speak to our tribe. I said, this is too valuable not to share. So just want to thank you guys for taking some time to share this with us.
And thank you for having us.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you, for me, I am super protective of our Platinum Inner Circle members. And I can literally count on 3 fingers the number of folks that we've invited to come in to talk to that group, because those are kind of our babies in terms of those businesses. And I'm super excited to have you guys come join us this weekend. is literally over the last 7 years, so impactful that we're having you guys come in. So you guys, I hope we get to see you at the boot camp. Also, if you are struggling in creating revenue in your business and you want to have an expand the revenue strategy call, you like that? I put the link in there. It's just connect with Casey.com. Just schedule some time with me next week and we'll get a chance to have a conversation about how to expand revenue in your particular business. I'm pretty good at this game.
Great name for that call. Great name.
Yeah. First off, you're going to be doing more than you're going to be raising prices is what you're going to do. So I dropped the link in there for you guys for that. It's connectwithcasey.com. You can also go register for the boot camp at 6minutewebinar.com/bootcamp. I know several people are in. Connie said she's in. Christine said she's in. So we're super excited to see you guys at the boot camp. So Dawn,
thank you all for your time.
Thank you guys so much. Bajal, thank you for introducing Dawn and Bill to me. I'm super, super fired up. For our Platinum Inner Circle members, you'll get a little bit deeper taste of these guys over the weekend when we get together. The rest of you, I will see in and around Expand the Business, and I'll see you at the workshop on the 25th. So from all of us here all over the planet, have a great evening, and we'll see you guys next time. Ciao for now.
Thank you, Casey. Take care.